Hare Krishna, I welcome all the wonderful devotees. So please accept my obeisances. So we'll start this class with our Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtraprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tvamasloke Bhaktir Bhavadinaishtuki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankaire Kirim Yetkripatum Hambandin Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandamadhum Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Hrivam Tatsat. So once again, I'm requesting for the blessings from all the devotees here. So today's sloka is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 7th chapter, verse number 4. I'll recite this now, and then I'll recite the translation, and then we'll go ahead. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranahite male apashyat purusham purnam mayam cha tatapashayam. Translation: thus he fixed his mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it in devotional service without any tinge of materialism, and thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy. I'll read one or two lines from the purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Sloka. Perfect vision of the absolute truth is possible only by the linking process of devotional service. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. One can perfectly realize the absolute truth personality of Godhead only by the process of devotional service. And one can enter into the kingdom of God by such perfect knowledge. Imperfect realization of the absolute by partial approach of the impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma does not permit anyone to enter into the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanatana Salakya Chakshuram Militam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Shivaya Krishnaya. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Dharame Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashat Prishtarane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Guru Nityananda Shri Bhaktivedanta Sri Vasadi Guru Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranavito Male. So this particular sloka is very, very important for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And why this is important, I will describe that. Just before that, I just want to mention about how fortunate we are, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established supreme absolute truth, that is Krishna, on the basis of our pramana, our highest pramana, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. This was actually something revolutionary, because every time we have seen that whenever somebody wants to establish the pramana, they try to do it through the Prasthanatraya. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually saved us. Why he saved us? Because the traditional way of understanding the absolute truth is through the different kinds of, I would say, Dvaitavada or Advaitavada. There is a long tradition of duel, I would say, battle, which started from the moment when Sripad Shankaracharya presented his Advaitavada. And after that, there are multiple fights which is happening in terms of, I would say, debate, because Bhaskaracharya immediately responded to that, followed by Ramanujacharya, then by Madhvacharya, and then Vyasadeva, who is from the Madhva Sampradaya. And you see, this fight is going on till date. For us, we don't have to go through that path to understand the absolute truth. For us, Srimad Bhagavatam is Pramana. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajeshwarana Tadhama Vrindavana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that, as per we know it from Chaitanya Manjusham. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Pramanam Amalam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is Pramanam. So one thing is that we understand Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important, not only for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also followers of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada had one particular task, if you look at his Pranamantra. One is Gauravani Pracharane, that is the main. But in addition to that, Gauravani Pracharane, we also can see Nirvishesha Shunyavata. He wanted to eliminate, because he wanted to give that highest mercy from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Krishna has mentioned that, if you want to come to me, there is only a process in which we have to understand Krishna as the supreme truth. And how do you understand Krishna as the supreme truth? Through Purana, through Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is also called as a special Samadhi of Sri Vyasadeva. Srimad Bhagavatam is known as Samadhi Grantha or Samadhi Bhashya also. We don't need to argue philosophically that Vyasadeva, or I would say using Upanishads to establish that supreme absolute truth is Krishna. We simply have to look at Vyasa Samadhi, which is also known as the genesis of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam actually started, I would say, and the Acharyas also explained that, because of what Vyasadeva saw in his Samadhi. The question that we can ask is, what did he see? And after seeing that, did it remove his dissatisfaction? And the next question which we can ask is that, if it removed his dissatisfaction, yes, this is the highest realization. And this is the highest truth. And this also establishes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy that supreme reality is a complete person, which is Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, you can see there are some main concepts. One is that he is a complete person, and this complete person has got Shaktis. And all the devotees or non-devotees, they are attracted to the spiritual qualities. Even the satisfied souls, they are attracted to these Shaktis and Lord's spiritual quality. So the foundational proof is that Supreme Personality is Krishna. And this sloka also establishes, I would say, this particular theme of Vyasadeva Samadhi establishes Sambandha, Vidya, and Pravachana. So this is just a background. Now let us look at the sloka itself. Bhakti Yogena Manasi. So people, if you look at our background, most of the concepts in India, we all have this concept of a little bit of impersonal conception in our mind. Even when I came to Bhakti, I would say, before coming to Bhakti, I was also deeply impressed or touched by the Mayavada or impersonal philosophy. And impersonal philosophy, Srila Prabhupada has explained in many purports that this is the last snare of Maya. So it is not something which is very simple, it is very important. So Bhakti Yogena Manasi, and we can see Vyasa has actually completed everything. He completed Upanishad, Brahma Sutra. He gave all the purports, examples in terms of how we can meditate on Brahman, how Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. He mentioned all these different vakyas in the Upanishads. Still, he was not satisfied. So when he was not satisfied, he started thinking about what is the cause of the dissatisfaction. That was the time Srila Narada Muni, who appeared in the scene, and he told something very, very beautiful. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.15.12, it is mentioned, Naishkarmam apyachyuta bhava varachidam, nashopate jnanam alam niranjanam. Kuda punah shashvata bhadram ishvare, nacharpitam karma yatta apya karanam. And then the next sloka he says, what he should do. He was actually encouraging, Narada Muni was actually encouraging Vyasadeva. He says, what you should do, he said, this is the problem. And the next solution he gave is that is the next sloka, 5.13, he says, Urukramasya kilabandhamuktaye. He's Urukramasya. You have to glorify. How? Before glorifying, you should do Samadhina nusmaratat vicheshtitam. You go into Samadhi, you go to a trance, and in that trance, after understanding his Leelas, you please explain that. And that's why Vyasadeva, if you see, he started meditating on the absolute truth. And he did Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga in Manasi. And with Bhakti Yoga, he could fix his mind without contamination. Samyak pranihite amale, without any tinge of contamination. So usually we have this understanding that, hey, meditation is actually for those people who are not very interested in Bhakti. Why don't the Vyasadeva do Shravanam Kirtana? Because it's Kalila, you should have done Shravanam Kirtana. Vyasadeva is qualified because who is Vyasa? Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. This Vyasa is Vishnu. And he is also following the instruction of Guru. Who is his Guru? Nartamani. And 9.34 in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says this, Manmana Bhava. Engage your mind in meditation of me. Or 12.8 in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna again say, Mayeva Mana Adasva. So because of that, he was actually following the instructions of the Guru and instructions of Krishna. So when you see this particular moment, Manasi, what did he do with the mind? He used the mind as both the instrument used in practice, and with that he was able to target the purification of the mind by practice. Then he did something, he saw something. And the question we should ask now is that, what did he see? Or particularly we should ask, did he see the light, Brahman? Whom did he see if it is not Brahman? And it is not a mental speculation because it is mentioned apashyat. He saw. What did he see? Purusham Purnam. So this is very, very important. He saw a person. That absolute truth is a person. That's what Vyasadeva saw. This perfectly gives us the understanding that absolute truth is possible. Mayam cha tat apashraya. And along with the Purusha, he saw something. Mayam cha tat apashraya. So Mayavadi philosophers, they always say that Maya is unreal. Maya covers the Supreme Absolute, whom we say as Bhagavan. But here you can see Mayam cha tat apashraya. Maya is real because Vyasadeva saw Maya. And Maya is subordinate to the Lord. Mayam cha tat apashraya. She has taken a subordinate position. She's not covering the Lord. And in 2.7.47, you will see Maya was also shameful, vilajjamana. So the concept of Mayavadis, Bhagavan is covered by Brahman. Sorry, Bhagavan is Brahman covered by Maya is refuted. Establishes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, establishes Srila Prabhupada's, mission, you can see. Now the next question which can ask is, who is that Purusha? Where can we understand? Because if he has mentioned that it is Krishna, then it would have been fine. Oh, there is no question. Usually when Purusha is mentioned, it is, we understand that this is in relation to the material world. We can see that it is Paramatma. 15.17 Bhagavad Gita. Uttama Purushastvanya, Paramatma Vidha. And in my younger days, I used to listen to classical music. And then Swati Tirunal, who was one of the early classical music composers, he also has one particular music which used to be very dear to me. There also he mentioned Parama Purusha Jagatishwara Jaya Jaya. And he says Pankajanava Murari. So, who is this Purusha? Is this Paramatma? Is this Lord Vishnu? Is this Narayana? So if you look at some of the quotings, there is a verse from Padma Purana which says that Bhagavan iti shabdhoyam tata purusha ityadu vartade nirupadishya vasudeva akhilatmani. So Padma Purana says that whenever Bhagavan or Purusha is used, in the highest sense, they refer to Vasudeva, who is the son of Vasudeva. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, the coming verses 1.7.7, it is mentioned, Yasyayam vai Suryamanayam Krishne Paramapurusha. It is mentioned Krishne Paramapurusha. Bhaktirutpattire pumsam shoka moha bhayapaha. And if you listen to the other slokas in Srimad Bhagavatam, like 2.3.10, where we all love to recite this one, Akama sarva kamova, moksha kama udharati, tivrena bhakti yogena yacheda purusham param, the highest purusha. So we can establish from these statements, and also from Bhagavad Gita 15.19, where Krishna himself says that you should understand and meditate on me as the Purushottama. Yomam evama sambodo, janati Purushottama. And then he also says that it is very guhya, the last one, 15.20. It is very, very guhya. Iti guhyatamam shastram, idamuktam mayanaga. That I am the Supreme Personality, Supreme Purusha, this is actually guhya. So in that way, we can establish that the Parama Purusha which the Lord saw was actually Krishna. Now, there can be objections. Like, did he see Brahman? Because we know that the Lord is Advayam. Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavan iti Shabdati. So, did he see Brahman also? Did he see light? So, Vyasadeva didn't see the light. Oh, then it means that, he is going against Srimad Bhagavatam. No. He saw the person, and we know in Ishopanishad it says, Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapitam. When the Lord removes that effulgence, then he can see this. So you don't need to see Brahman at that point of time. Now the second question, we know the Lord is having Shakti. And this particular sloka, you don't see the Shaktis. Where is the Swarup Shakti? So the example given is that it is implicit. Because the process of Bhakti Yoga is itself the Swarup Shakti of the Lord. Bhakti is a function of Swarup Shakti. And Acharya said with explanations that you cannot see, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that, you cannot see the sun without the sunlight. In this particular sloka, Prabhupada has given around 21 points. Each points are like, razor sharp points. You cannot see the sun without the sunlight. But when you see the sunlight, when you see the sun, you don't say that, oh, I'm seeing the sunlight. Similarly, you cannot see the Lord without his internal potency. And thus, Vyasadeva, he saw the Lord in his full spiritual form. And what about his associates? Did he see that Krishna is alone? That also is not possible. So there is another analogy given by the moon. Example is given as the moon and the moonlight. So when you see the moonlight, you see the moon. Sorry, I would say when you see the moon, you see the moonlight. But you also will never say that I have seen the moon, but I didn't see the moonlight. It is implicit. And in the same chapter, 23rd verse, it also mentioned that Chit Shakti, which is spiritual, is also present. So what happens? What does the Swarup Shakti do with Brahman? Swarup Shakti acts in such a way that it minimizes the bliss of Brahman by giving prema to the Jiva. In that way, you don't notice, you don't see that Brahman is there. Because of the prema attracts the Jiva to the Lord, and the bliss of Brahman is minimized. Again, one more time, I just want to mention one more analogy, which Prabhupada and the Acharyas mentioned, whenever we say the king has come, we see, or I would say, when the king came, I saw the king. That also means that king came along with his paraphernalia, with his associate, with his entourage. The whole system would be accompanying him. All the personal assistants would be there. But still, we will only say that I saw the king. We never say that, I only saw just the king walking down the road. No, he comes with the entire paraphernalia. This particular sloka resonates very much with my internal understanding of Krishna. Because when I started studying, during the time when I was in school, I was very much attracted towards impersonalistic readings. For example, I started with Swami Vivekananda's teachings, and it actually captured my whole attention. And whenever Srila Prabhupada used to mention that, the final philosophy is personal, somehow it touches, there is a pain which it happens internally. But we have to also understand that this is a very, very subtle anartha. This subtle anartha can be only removed by understanding that supreme absolute truth is personal. This knowledge should come both philosophically as well as in the heart. So the faith can be only fixed when we see the pramana is very, very solid. We look at other systems of philosophy, we understand that the pramana is very solid. But to establish the pramana through Srimad Bhagavatam, till that was not thought about. This is something which was very unique. And thanks to Srila Jiva Goswami, who has given this wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam explanations through his Sandarbhas, in which he clearly established that you don't have to worry about all the other pramanas. You don't have to go and understand all the different debates which the Mayavadis and the Dvaitavadis they do. You can simply take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is what Srila Prabhupada is also trying to do. He is also not looking at any other. He is also not looking at any other, or I'd say, philosophical thought process. He is also trying to make through this particular point. So the mood of Srila Prabhupada is very, very uncompromising when we say that the absolute truth is personal. This is something we always tend to appreciate, that he never accepts that absolute truth is impersonal. No, it is completely personal. And Prabhupada wanted to have this as his complete mission, that deliver people from the impersonal confusion by spreading Srimad Bhagavatam widely throughout the world. By presenting Srimad Bhagavatam also as it is, he has actually removed our impersonal calamity. Without removing this impersonal calamity, you can't understand the absolute truth. So we are very, very thankful to Srila Prabhupada, particularly giving us this gift of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in essence, we can see that the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam both are same. So Pramanam Amala. So Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amala. This is the same thing which Srila Prabhupada is also trying to show us. This is actually the genesis of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why genesis? It means because of this particular act of Srila Vyasadeva, meditating on the absolute truth by the instructions or following the instructions of his Guru and spiritual master Narada Muni, we have received Srimad Bhagavatam. When he saw this absolute truth, what Srila Vyasadeva did, he started writing Srimad Bhagavatam. And after writing Srimad Bhagavatam, we also understand this fact that Vyasadeva was specified. So, as per Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, and as per all the acharyas, this absolute understanding has become very evident. We received clarity now. So I would like to summarize the teaching of Srila Prabhupada as well as this particular thing, is that absolute supreme truth which Vyasadeva saw actually is Krishna. The crisis of Vyasadeva was completely removed by following the process of Bhakti Yoga. And Mayavada philosophy, that absolute truth is Brahman, is actually a remote. That fallacy is destroyed by Vyasadeva Samadhi, because Maya is also shown as not covering Bhagavan, but subordinate to Bhagavan. Hare Krishna. So I would like to end my class here. Thank you so much for the devotees to come and listen to this. Hare Krishna.
Vamshidhara Prabhu, there is already hand raised for questions.
I'll take the questions. So I'll take from Shiva Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Oh, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for an excellent systematic presentation, Prabhuji. Very, very philosophical. And you referred the appropriate shlokas. My question is, the shloka says, Vyasadeva could see Purusha as well as an energy. Isn't it?
Yeah.
He sees energy. But you gave an analogy saying that we see the moon, but because of prema, we don't see the light. Is it? So is it applicable to Vyasadeva also? Because of prema, he sees only that Purusha and not seeing the Brahman. Or one more question. Before that, I would like to ask one more thing. This energy is Maya or Brahman?
Thank you, Prabhu, for asking this question. So we also know that Ishopanit says that Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasyapi Hitamaham Patvam Pushan Apavranu Satya Dharmaya Drishte. So with that, we can establish that absolute truth can be seen only once that covering is moved. So when seeing Krishna, that becomes irrelevant. When seeing the moon, even though you're seeing the moonlight, that becomes irrelevant. Okay. So I hope that we answered. And what was the second question, Prabhu?
No. When the shloka refers energy, this
energy.
is
Sorry,
it's Maya. Brahman is not mentioned there in the shloka. No, it's about Maya. No,
Mayam cha tatapashya. So it is mentioning. I covered that in the lecture. There is Swarup Shakti mentioned. We can say that, is it Swarup Shakti? No, it is not Swarup Shakti. This is Mayam cha tatapashya. We can also take, when we say categorically that it is Maya, it can be Swarup Shakti. It can be Yoga Maya as well as Mahamaya. But here, Acharyas explain that it is Mahamaya. Both are acceptable because Tadapashya. But when we say associates, okay, the energy, it is there. Bhakti itself is Swarup Shakti. So you don't have to see that Swarup Shakti, because Bhakti itself is Swarup Shakti of Krishna.
Okay. No, for your lecture was around the Brahman, not about Maya. The Shakti you referred only as the Brahman. That's why I asked the question.
Shakti is not Brahman, Prabhu. So Shakti is different.
Okay.
Shakti is not Brahman. Shakti, when I say Shakti, it becomes personal. Brahman is nothing but Krishna's form. When we remove all the Shaktis, then it is Brahman. Krishna minus all his Shaktis is Brahman.
Okay.
Krishna, Brahman with added Shaktis is Krishna.
Okay. That's very logical. Yes, thank you.
Rupavati Mataji, you can see your
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thanks for that amazing class which caught all our attention. So Just had one doubt because yesterday I could listen to a lecture there in Vyasadeva Samadhi. He saw three things he said, like Lord Krishna, as you said, absolute truth in the personal form, and one more is Maya. The other one, he said living entity. So just wanted clarification from you based on the Shastras. Could you please clarify this, Prabhuji?
Okay. Jiva, see, when you see the Lord and his associates are Jiva Shakti. So he has seen that. But it's like the king. The king, we don't say that, I saw the king when we say king. I
Okay,
don't
I
say
understand.
that, yeah, they are also there.
With the king example, I could understand. Along with the Lord, his associates were present. That includes the living entities, you mean to say?
Yeah, much. So the next sloka, if you look at 175, Yaya Sammohito Jivo, it is also mentioned. Atmanam Trigunatmikam. What is happening? Paropi Manute. So the next sloka explains it. Since I was trying to, there are so many
Yeah,
things to be
yeah.
explained here, so I didn't go there.
Thank
So
you,
you just
Prabhuji,
look at
for explaining.
1.7.5, you get the complete understanding. Thank you, Madaji. Achyuta Sri Krishna Prabhu. So please go ahead and ask your question. It is not the question. Prabhu, you are muted, so.
He's mute.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Your class is always inspiring, very thought-provoking, Prabhuji. So basically, I have two questions, small questions. The first one, during the course of presentation, you said that initially you heard about Vivekananda and you went through his teachings or this. So, Prabhuji, the youth of especially Bengal and many parts of the India is very much attracted with the Swami Vivekananda's teachings. So my straight question is, was Vivekananda is impersonalist or the personal form? Because his spiritual master was very much on the personal form. He was worshipping the personal form. So was there a deviation of Swami Vivekananda from his spiritual master? This from whatever you have read about him. With my little knowledge, I just wanted to ask this question. And the second question, Prabhuji, which is very much relevant to me, that Tibrena Bhakti Yogena. So how to remain focused with the Tibrena, Tibra. Of course, we are very much at the sadhaka level. So how to increase this Tibrena?
Thank you,
Tibra.
Prabhu, for one wonderful question. So I can answer your second question first, Prabhu. We should not only philosophically accept that Krishna is the Supreme Personality, we should also understand practically that I don't have any other shelter than Krishna. We feel that we have so much different shelters other than Krishna. But practically we don't have. Our only shelter is Krishna. Bringing that into a kind of a meditation will actually help us to do Tivra Bhakti. Whenever we start, I would give one personal example which I do. Whenever we perform devotional service, I try to think that I don't have any other shelter. For example, if Gajendra, with his one call, can invoke Krishna there. Draupadi, with just one Govinda, when she can invoke Krishna. With our 16 rounds for the past 20-25 years, Krishna is not coming, means there is that Tivra Bhakti is not there. So we have to take complete shelter. We have to invoke that particular aspect of Ashraya. So that can definitely help us. We are all practitioners. We are also trying to do that. So one day, with the help of all the acharyas, we should be successful. The second question, Prabhu, I felt it is out of context, but
Yeah,
if
it is out
Madaji
of
permit,
context. There is no need for you to answer that, Prabhu. That is out of context.
But if you want, Madaji, I can answer that as well, if you think so.
It's up to you.
Fine. So, Prabhupada has mentioned this, that There were two Bengalis who came to the West and gave impersonal philosophy. Now, Bengalis are very intelligent, and it need one Bengali, that is me, to come and destroy that impersonal philosophy. So this philosophy, is one is both other Bengalis we know. One was Vivekananda who went to the West, and then one more, what is this? I forgot his name, who was promoting meditation. Sahaja, sorry, I forgot his name.
Maharshi Yogi Guruji?
No,
Maharshi.
that
Muhammad
Steve Jobs was reading his book. That was the only book which Steve Jobs used to have anything. I forgot his name. Oh, fine. So Prabhupada has mentioned that. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was also very much, see, Shakta worship is also is a kind of Mayavada philosophy. So with that, probably we can understand it. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much. Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste Very Prabhu, you can conclude.
So thank you so much, devotees. I might have made many mistakes, so you have patiently listened to that. So thank you for giving your participating in this. Please give me your valuable feedback so that I can improve.
Prabhu, feedback later, not now.
Okay, sorry.
There's one more hand raised from Balwant Prabhu.
Balan Prabhu, you have a question or a feedback?
No, that's for feedback later.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So thank you so much, devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Path,